guys, welcome back to The Bright Side. Macy here, The Bright Side Girl, and today we're doing my most anticipated releases part 2. So these are going to be the new releases I'm excited about from July through basically November. There wasn't really anything in December. And these are my personal excited releases. You're going to see some things you've never seen before. You're not going to see a lot of things that a lot of other people may have on their list. This is because I have forbidden myself to put things on the list that I don't think that I will actually get to within the next half of the year, or like third or second books in a series that I haven't read the first book yet or don't know anything about it and things like that. So this is just going to be my personal list. I've been really focused on finishing series this year, so I'm trying not to start too many new things. And keep in mind that some of these dates might not be correct. I'm getting everything off Goodreads, so they're subject to change, obviously. So just kind of check them out yourself and add them to your Goodreads. First up, starting in July. So coming out July 6th is Half Sick of Shadows by Laura Sebastian. This is a new series, or maybe a standalone, by Laura Sebastian, who wrote the Ash Princess trilogy, and I adore that trilogy. It's the only series I believe that she has out. It's fantasy and romance and magic and war and politics, and it was really great. Really looking forward to checking out something else from her because I enjoyed her writing style so much. So this one I believe is a King Arthur retelling, and our main character has the ability to see the future and knows what's going to be happening in the kingdom and to King Arthur, and I think she's going to try and stop it. So I believe that's what's happening here. I really like retellings in general, especially like that time period, so I'm looking forward to this one quite a bit. Also coming out July 6th is Any Way the Wind Blows by Rainbow Rowell. This is the third and I believe the final book in the Carry On trilogy. This has a whole thing about it. This is spun off of her book Fangirl, and I would recommend reading that first if I were you. So Fangirl is about a girl that goes to college and she writes fan fiction for this really popular book series called Simon Snow, which is basically like kind of like Harry Potter, and her fan fiction becomes incredibly popular and she's kind of like internet famous, but nobody really knows who she is, and she's trying to like deal with that but also learn to go to school and fall in love and all these kinds of things. In that book, in certain chapters, you get snippets of her fan fiction, and it became so popular in real life that Rainbow Rowell decided to write out the fan fiction, which became Carry On, and this is the third book in the series. I really have enjoyed this series so far. I especially liked the second book. It's got a very strong Harry Potter vibe to it, but it's also unique in its own way. It's got a vampire aspect to it. It's got some nice relationship and friendship drama, some really interesting magical things, and it's got that good Rainbow Rowell writing style that I personally really enjoy. Coming out July 20th is Curses. Can't remember the author, but it'll be up here in the picture. This is basically a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I think it is a twist on the story where the Beast is actually the girl, and the girl is the one that captures whoever. I think it's like a total flip. That's what I've heard anyway. I think it sounds amazing. It's one of the only books I have on this list that I don't know the author or a whole lot about it, other than I just really love retellings, and this one in particular sounded super unique and amazing. So there aren't any new releases for August that I really care about, so we're going to skip on to September because there's so many coming out in the fall. I was particularly excited for this video because I actually have some pre-orders coming in, and I don't really pre-order books ever, so we're gonna get started. So coming out September 7th is Empire of the Vampire by Jay Kristoff. Probably the book that I'm almost the most excited for. This is a new book by Jay Kristoff, who I love. I love his Illuminae series, Aurora Rising. I love Nevernight, and I'm so excited to read more from him. And this is a vampire series that he is writing, and it's going to be dark and gritty. I'm getting that it's going to be more of Nevernight vibes. I'm not sure if this is adult or new adult or young adult. I'm leaning towards it's probably going to be new adult. But I'm just excited for magical things and vampires, and I know that I think I have this one on pre-order or someone's getting it for me. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm going to get it one way or the other. Coming out September 28th is Vespertine by Margaret Rogerson. I haven't read anything from Margaret Rogerson yet, but this one just really stood out to me. Got spooky fall vibes. So this is about Artemisia, who is training to be a Grey Sister, which is a nun who cleanses the deceased so that their souls can pass on. That's the short end of it. The cover's amazing. The rest of the description sounds really, really good. It's very long, so I won't go into it here, but it's one that I'm really looking forward to, especially for a spooky season. Next up is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. So this is going to be, from what I know, a new series that she's writing, but it's based on a character from the Caraval world, or a couple of characters. I don't want to give away too many spoilers here, but Caraval, this magical series about two sisters that go to this like kind of secretive carnival type thing, and there's all these magic and confusion and games, and they get lost in the game of it all, and there's just all these things that happen. It's really fabulous, and I am so excited for this next book. I love Stephanie Garber's writing style. I found the first book's romantic and over the top and magical and very unique, so I'm really excited to follow a somewhat new character, but familiar at the same time, in the same world, but in a new way. Coming out in October. So October 26th is Ski Weekend by Rektok Ross. Hopefully I'm saying that right. This is actually a new friend that I made on Instagram. I know nothing about her writing style. I've never read anything from her before, but she's writing a survival thriller based like in the mountains at like ski camp, which sounds great. I really like survival-y reads. And so I wanted to talk about it on here because I am really excited about it. And I know she's a smaller author, so hopefully I can get a hold of a copy of this one pretty soon here, but it is coming out pretty soon. It's going to be good for the fall/wintry vibes, and yeah, something you guys probably haven't heard about. Also coming out October 26th is So This Is Christmas, I think by Tracy Anderson. This is basically the only young adult Christmas novel that I saw coming out, and I just love Christmas novels and especially Christmas romances. So that's why this is on the list. I don't really know anything about it. I just saw it in the young adult new releases and I was like, I need to get this one. I'll probably check it out via audiobook if it comes out with one. Then coming out on October 28th is another author I discovered through Instagram. So this is Midnight in Everwood by M.A. Kuznir. Again, I'm not saying that right, but it'll be right here. And this one I discovered through Instagram because it is, first of all, absolutely beautiful. I did pre-order this one. It's the only book that I myself have pre-ordered. It is a Nutcracker retelling, and I plan to do a Nutcracker retelling video around Christmas time. I love the Nutcracker. It's one of my favorite Christmas stories. This book was gorgeous and I just kept seeing it pop up, and it sounds so enchanting, and she's been putting quotes up. I will link her Instagram down below in the description so you guys can check it out as well, but it sounds fantastic and I can't wait to get it in the mail. I think it was only available from Book Depository in hardback, so I will link that down below as well. And then lastly is going to be November. Coming out November 9th is Aurora's Inn. This is the final book in the Aurora Rising trilogy. I haven't read the second book yet because I've been saving it to read. So this is by Jade Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. I just love them as an author doer. It's sci-fi, it's got a ragtag team, it's got so many cool elements in it. There's like aliens and different creatures and creepy planets, and I really enjoyed the first book, so I'm really excited to finish the whole trilogy because I'm sure that it's going to be a new favorite. And then lastly, also coming out on November 9th is the book I am the most excited for, and that's Destiny's End by Kel Cade. This is the second book in the Fate of the Fallen series or trilogy. I'm not entirely sure. This is an adult series. I believe it's adult. I read Fate of the Fallen just randomly. Someone posted about it and I read it like a year and a half ago and completely fell in love. I listened on audiobook. The narrators were fantastic. So this one follows the trope of the chosen one, and the chosen one is destined to save the land from bad and evil things, and then something happens where that gets flipped on its head and we just throw our trope out the window and something different happens. And there are gods and goddesses. There's a hero's journey, and there's orcs and elves and all kinds of creatures. There's so many different parts in this. It has a lot of detail, but it has a really nice way of not feeling heavy, and it's actually very funny, which I haven't read a lot of funny fantasy books. Like, there are parts in here that I laughed out loud listening to. So I read the first one, so this is the second one. I've been waiting 2 years for it. I'm so excited about it, so hopefully I can get my hands on at least the audiobook closer to the time, but I'm very pumped. I'll be rereading the first one as well. And then there really aren't any books coming out in December that I was interested in. There's a very small list. Usually that's not a big new release month. So that is it for this video. Let me know what you guys are most excited about for the last half of 2021. And if you've pre-ordered any books or you're just gonna request them from the library and all that jazz. In case you didn't know, you can actually go into like your Overdrive app or Libby and actually hit recommend on books before they are released for either ebook or audiobook. And that will actually put you in line on. So when they do get released, when they do come out, you'll already be in line as requesting it. And so you're more likely to get them sooner. So as soon as I see them on there with the option to recommend, I hit recommend, and then I get new releases like before everybody else, because I don't wait until they come out to request them and then you're 150th in line or whatever. So just a little tip for you guys. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at The Bright Side Girl. I do some bookish content on there as well, and I'd love to chat with you. And I will see you next time on The Bright Side. Bye!